Welcome back. You're watching the continuous and comprehensive coverage here on Beyond World is One of the Howdy Modi event live from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. And these are the live visuals coming to you of the motorcade of U.S. President Donald Trump arriving at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. So we are standing by for a very, very special broadcast. For the first time ever, a sitting American president will share the stage with a foreign leader, in this case, Prime Minister Modi of India. And we have at least 50,000 Indian Americans sitting in the audience inside the stadium in Houston, Texas. On your screens, the Indian Foreign Minister along with the U.S. Ambassador to India, Minister Jaishankar, flanked by Ambassador Juster. And we are moments away from getting the first visuals of U.S. President Donald Trump arriving at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas for the big-ticket Howdy Modi event. And there you go. That's the first glimpse of President Trump getting out of the motorcade, being received by Foreign Minister Jaishankar and the U.S. Ambassador to India, Kenneth Juster. So we are moments away from what many people say is a historic moment. President Trump, I'm told, and we've seen the pictures already, has arrived at the NRG Stadium. We are moments away from the public address by Prime Minister Modi and President Trump. Now, looking at the current state of India-US ties and the anticipation of a big announcement by both leaders, what's in store for India-US ties going forward? All right, I'm told we'll fix that link with Siddhant momentarily. But Siddhant, if you can hear me, I meant to ask you that we are just moments away from the public address by both leaders, President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. And there's anticipation that there might be a big-ticket, big-bang announcement by either or both leaders. What might that be, and what's in store for the India-US ties going forward from here?
Well, Ramesh, we have to wait what will be the big announcement because we know that there have been hints by the U.S. President himself and, of course, the other U.S. authorities as well. But by and large, we are just few moments away from the historical moment in which we will see the sitting U.S. President along with the Prime Minister of India addressing the diaspora. 50,000 people present in that stadium in Houston. I am right now in New York. Of course, the diplomacy will be the focus here. But in Houston, right now, we are going to witness history. We've already witnessed history with U.S. senators present, along with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and of course the cultural show by the diaspora. But now the big political development is expected to happen because this shows the growing closeness between India and the United States and how both the countries are converging together to shape the global opinion or global political order, which of course is right now is changing even as we speak. We have seen rise of global powers, but also we have seen how India has been a positive development in the global diaspora, global opinion shaping, and of course right now focus being on diaspora.
Absolutely, and as Siddharth was pointing out, this is a historic moment in India-US ties. For the first time ever, a sitting American president will share the stage with a foreign leader, and that too, in this case, Prime Minister Modi of India, and address a 50,000-strong audience comprising mainly of Indian Americans, especially people living in Houston and elsewhere in the U.S., and also some people from Canada, I'm told. And this is the Howdy Modi event with the theme Shared Dreams, Bright Futures. And we are moments away from that public address by both leaders at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Remember, Prime Minister Modi is on a week-long visit to the U.S. This is day 2 of his stay in Houston, Texas, from where he will make his way to New York City for the annual United Nations General Assembly session, where he will address the UNGA on the 27th of September. a lot of issues and meetings on the margins of the UNG as well, focusing on climate change, sustainable development. So the focus is on a varied, multi-faceted relationship and issues, not just limited to bilateral ties, but other issues of significance and importance to countries and governments around the world, including, as I mentioned, climate change and sustainable development. And just to bring our viewers up to speed with the latest news here on Beyond World is One, these are the latest live visuals from inside NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, where we are standing by for the special broadcast, a public address by Prime Minister Modi at the Howdy Modi event in Houston, Texas, who will be joined in by President Trump of the US. So this is, as many say, a historic moment in India-US ties, one that holds the two countries in good stead going forward. And those are the most recent pictures on your screens of President Trump arriving at the NRG Stadium and being received by... And we can now expect both leaders to walk together onto the stage for the big-ticket, much-anticipated Howdy Modi event live from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
Oh, everybody, let me get rid of this stuff. Go ahead.
These visuals from inside the NRG Stadium. Remember, we are moments away from the public address by Prime Minister Modi and President Trump at the Howdy Modi event in Houston, Texas. All right, as the two leaders make their way to the stage, just as an aside, Prime Minister Modi has just won a landslide victory in the 2019 election. And President Trump goes into an election year in the US. Remember, he'll be contesting for re-election as president in 2020. So he will look to woo the Indian-American voter present in large numbers at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Remember, the Indian-American community is a vibrant community which has a voice in US domestic politics. It's become a force to reckon with and can play a crucial role in the election bid by any candidate, especially President Trump, who is seeking re-election in the next presidential election to be held in November 2020. All right, so as we watch these visuals from inside the stadium, we are moments away from what many people around the world are saying is going to be a historic moment, with both Prime Minister Modi and President Trump sharing the stage at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, which, by the way, is the energy capital of the US and the world, some would say. And Prime Minister Modi has already met with a cross-section of the Indian-American community, especially the Sikhs, the Kashmiri Pandit community and the...